66 million years ago, the oceans of the Late Cretaceous belonged to something far more terrifying than any shark that swims today. It was longer than a school bus, powered by a tail like a shark's, armed with a second set of jaws hidden in its throat, and it feared nothing in the water. Its name comes from the river where it was found, the Meuse. This is the story of Mosasaurus, not a dinosaur, not a fish, but a lizard that conquered the sea. And remarkably, almost everything we know about it began with a single skull pulled out of a limestone quarry in the Netherlands, more than 200 years before Darwin ever wrote a word.
In the 1770s, quarry workers digging soft limestone beneath St. Petersburg, a hill near the city of Maastricht, uncovered an enormous fossilized jaw studded with cone-shaped teeth. No one had a name for it. At the time, nobody even accepted that species could go extinct. The idea contradicted the belief that God's creation was fixed and unchanging. Local physician Johann Leonard Hoffmann recognized the bones as scientifically important and began documenting them, which is why this specimen still carries his name today.
For decades, naturalists argued over what this great animal of Maastricht actually was. Some guessed whale, others guessed crocodile. It took the French anatomist Georges Cuvier, one of the founders of paleontology as a science, to compare the jaw to a monitor lizard skull and conclude in 1808 that this was an enormous marine reptile, a species that no longer existed anywhere on Earth. It was one of the very first fossils ever used to prove that extinction was real. In 1822, the English geologist William Conybeare formally gave the animal its scientific name, Mosasaurus, meaning lizard of the Meuse River.
The original Maastricht specimen has a dramatic history of its own. When French revolutionary forces besieged Maastricht in 1794, French soldiers were reportedly offered a reward of wine for locating the famous fossil, and it was seized as a spoil of war, later ending up in Paris's Muséum National d'Histoire Naturelle, where a cast and related fragments remain on display today. This single skull didn't just name a genus, it helped launch the modern science of paleontology itself.
So what exactly was Mosasaurus? It was not a dinosaur, and it was not related to whales or dolphins. It belonged to a group called mosasaurs, giant marine lizards descended from land-dwelling ancestors related to modern monitor lizards and snakes. Over millions of years, their limbs flattened into paddle-shaped flippers, their bodies elongated, and their tails developed a shark-like downward fluke for powerful swimming. Look closely at the skull, and you can see the feature that made mosasaurs such efficient predators. A hinged lower jaw, flexible like a snake's, that let the mouth expand around large prey. And inside the throat sat a second set of teeth on the pterygoid bones of the palate, essentially a backup set of jaws that dragged struggling prey deeper into the throat so it couldn't escape. Estimates place the largest Mosasaurus hoffmanni individuals at up to 17 meters, or roughly 56 feet in length, rivaling a sperm whale and easily one of the largest marine predators to ever exist. This particular specimen, mounted at the Naturhistorische Museum Maastricht, is one of the most complete Mosasaurus skeletons ever assembled, and museum staff can be seen here maintaining the massive display, which stretches across an entire gallery.
Notice the eye socket, large enough to suggest strong vision and useful for hunting in the dim light of deeper water. The nostrils sit high on the skull, much like a crocodile's, allowing the animal to breathe while keeping almost its entire body submerged. From nose to tail tip, this reconstruction shows just how the animal's body was built. A compact rib cage up front, followed by a long, flexible, paddle-tailed body optimized purely for propulsion through water.
Mosasaurus sat at the very top of the Late Cretaceous marine food chain. Fossil evidence, bite marks preserved on ammonite shells, sea turtle bones, and even the remains of other, smaller mosasaurs shows this animal was not a picky eater. It's believed to have fed on fish, squid, sharks, sea turtles, and other marine reptiles, using raw bite force rather than speed to subdue prey.
Unlike modern crocodiles, Mosasaurus is thought to have relied less on the classic death roll and more on simply overpowering prey with jaw strength and those recurving teeth engineered to grip rather than saw through flesh.
Mosasaurus hoffmanni wasn't the only species in its genus. This specimen, catalogued as KUVP 1034 and housed at the University of Kansas, belongs to Mosasaurus missouriensis, a somewhat smaller species, first described from fossils found in the American Midwest, in rock that was once the floor of the shallow western interior seaway that split North America in two during the Cretaceous. Not every mosasaur was a giant. Many species in the broader mosasaur family were considerably smaller and more slender, built more like sea snakes than sea monsters, filling different ecological niches, from open ocean hunters to near-shore scavengers. Fossils like these, smaller mosasaur relatives preserved in fine-grained limestone and shale, show just how well this group could be preserved when buried quickly in low-oxygen sediment on the seafloor, which is exactly why the Late Cretaceous produced so many exceptional marine reptile fossils. Piecing together an animal like this takes decades of comparative anatomy. Scientists study the vertebrae count and shape to determine body length and flexibility, examine tooth wear patterns to infer diet, and compare limb bone proportions to living reptiles to understand how the animal swam. Mounts like this one are built around real fossil material, combined with sculpted replacement bone where the original specimen is incomplete, a common and transparent practice in modern paleontological displays, always noted in museum records, even if not obvious to visitors. It's only when you place a human being next to the skeleton that the true scale of Mosasaurus becomes impossible to ignore. An adult person barely reaches past the midpoint of the skull. This was an animal built to dominate an entire ocean basin, with no natural predator of its own once it reached full size. Mosasaurus reigned for only the final few million years of the Cretaceous period, evolving relatively late and vanishing suddenly. When the asteroid struck what is now the Yucatan Peninsula 66 million years ago, it didn't just end the dinosaurs on land, it collapsed marine food chains as well, and Mosasaurus, along with every other mosasaur species, disappeared from the fossil record at exactly that boundary. What survived, ironically, was the science it helped create. If you enjoyed this journey back to the Cretaceous seas, subscribe for more evidence-based deep dives into the animals that ruled our planet long before us. Thanks for watching.